Okay, today we are going to continue our lesson, and in this ninth meeting we will be learning about vowel theory. Have you ever read the primary source, the book entitled American English on chapter 5? Belum pernah membaca ya, pastinya ya. Buku ada itu untuk disimpan aja ya, berarti bukan untuk dibaca. Chapter 5, vowel theory. 5.1, describing vowels. Yeah. Let's learn about how we can describe vowels. We have known that pronunciation consists of two aspects, consonants and vowels. Yeah. Before you have midterm examination, you have learned a lot about consonants, how each sound should be pronounced in English. And now we saw in chapter 2, consonant is a speech sound that involves an obstruction. Do you know what obstruction is? Obstruction is like limitation, blockage. You know, something would like to go out and then it blocks, blockage, or obstruction. To the airstream. What is airstream? Air is udara. Stream is stream. Airstream. On its way through the vocal tract. What is vocal tract? Yeah, the vocal tract. Rongga vokal, rongga mulut. So what then is a vowel? What is a vowel? A vowel is the opposite of a consonant. Ya. A sound made, suara yang diproduce tanpa obstruction, without obstruction in the vocal tract. In the vocal tract, to the air as it passes through it. Let's say along O or A, yeah, A. The sound doctors ask us to make when they want to look into our mouths. A dulu, A. And feel how the air flows out through your mouth without any obstruction. Trying the same thing for E, A, yeah. You will notice that your lips and tongue take different positions for these different vowels. But in each case, there is no obstruction or blockage of the kind that we can find in consonants. If consonants are analyzed in terms of the kind of obstruction involved and where it is in the vocal tract, dan di mana obstruction itu terjadi dalam rongga mulut, bagaimanakah kita bisa menganalisis vowel yang tidak memiliki obstruction atau hambatan? Although the tongue and lips assume a wide range of complex shape, yeah, for the articulation of different vowels, a relatively simple system has been developed to describe them. Figure 5.1 shows the vowel diagram from the chart of the IPA, which is based on the system of vowel description. 5.1.1 bentuk tongue, lidah. In order to understand the system behind the diagram, the first step is to explore the limits of the range of tongue positions used to make vowels known as the vowel space. Jadi vowel space itu apa? Adalah range. Range itu ya dari sana sampai sana gitu ya. Sejauh mana atau sejauh mana posisi lidah itu bisa digunakan untuk membuat suara vowel. There are two fixed articulatory reference point to the system. Yang pertama, you make a vowel with the front of the body of your tongue push as forward, sejauh ke depan dan sejauh mungkin ke atas. Jadi depan atas, ya. As far up toward the hard palate as possible. Hard palate itu langit-langit lidah yang atas. Langit-langit mulut yang atas. And the sound would no longer be a vowel. The second reference point is found by doing the opposite. Membuka mulut Anda dan menarik lidah Anda sejauh mungkin ke belakang dan ke bawah. As possible, tanpa menyebabkan friksi antara the root of the tongue and the back wall of the pharynx. This is the vowel yeah. Further two positions can be identified by pushing the tongue as far up and back, ke atas dan ke belakang as possible, yang akan memberikan suara ya. And by pushing the tongue as far forward and down, ke depan dan ke bawah as possible, yang akan memberikan vokal itu ke depan dan ke bawah, depan bawah. Note that during the production of all these vowels, the tongue tip and blade, tongue tip ini kan tang, tipnya itu yang ini paling depan, terus blade itu belakangnya tip, ya. Remain low in the mouth. They are not involved in vowel production, and this is why the front of the tongue, as a technical term, is not where non-phoneticians usually expect it to be. The front of the tongue is actually the front of the part used in vowel articulation and is what lay people will think of as the center or middle of the tongue. Coba Anda lihat diagram vowels halaman 123 figure 5.1, vowel diagram from the IBA chart. Jadi itu adalah penampang bagian rongga mulut kita. Kalau kita mau memproduksi suara U, ini lidah kita akan bergerak ke depan. Suara apa tadi? U ya. U itu malah ke belakang, terus ke atas gitu. Tapi kalau kita mau memproduksi suara I misalkan, pasti lidah kita akan ke depan, terus ke atas. Jadi posisinya lidah kita akan bisa bergerak untuk menempati posisi yang sesuai dengan suara vokal yang akan diproduksi. Terus itu di bagian open mid, agak ke bawah tapi ke depan, dan seterusnya. Itu masing-masing bentuk lidah kita, posisi lidah kita untuk huruf I kayak gitu, huruf O kayak gitu, terus huruf U kayak gitu, 5.4, terus 5.5 itu untuk A. Sekarang coba Anda luangkan waktu sejenak untuk mengeksplorasi limit dari vowel space Anda. Paradoxical as it may seem, it's best to do this silently. Lakukan hal ini secara silent, diam. Jika Anda bersuara, maka if you voice mensuarakan vokal yang Anda produksi, hal ini akan membuat Anda kurang mampu untuk mengapresiasi atau merasakan sensasi dari sentuhan, gerakan, dan posisi dari artikulator atau lidah Anda. Coba Anda tanpa bersuara, silently, please say I silent. Rasakan touch, gerakan, move dari lidah Anda. Terus berikutnya silently. Terus berikutnya Terus berikutnya ada I. Terus A. Ya, oke, cukup. The oval is too awkward a shape for practical purposes, and so in a schematic representation, its sides are straightened to give it the basic shape of the vowel quadrilateral that we are familiar with from the IPA chart. Sehingga pada kesimpulannya untuk bagian ini vertically, secara vertikal posisi lidah kita itu bisa kita labeli dengan close. Close itu semakin ke atas, atas itu close, mid di tengah, terus semakin ke bawah itu open. Kan kalau ke atas kan menutup ini mulut, ya. Open itu yang ke bawah. Dengan keterangan ada middle mid being further divided into close mid and open mid. Kemudian secara horizontal, kalau horizontal itu nampak atas, itu lidah kita itu kita sebut sebagai front kalau ke depan, bergerak ke depan, central ke tengah, and back kalau semakin ke belakang, gitu ya, back. Oke, gitu. 5.212 lip shape, bentuk bibir. Ini cuma terbagi menjadi dua. So far we've only considered the position of the tongue, but the shape of the lips is also important. Since the tongue and lips can move independently, ya, of each other. Jadi gerakan lidahmu itu tidak mempengaruhi gerakan atau posisi bibir kita sendiri. Every vowel position can be accompanied by, setiap posisi vowel itu bisa ditemani oleh unrounded ataupun rounded lips. This is why the symbol on the IPA vowel diagram mostly come in pairs. Datang secara berpasangan simbolnya itu. The left symbol having unrounded lips and the right symbol having rounded lips. Okay, now 5.1.3 vowel labels. It turns out that as in the case of consonant, the basics of vowel description can be summarized in terms of three factors. The first one is vertical tongue position, the second one is horizontal tongue position, and the last one is our lip shape. Yeah. For example, the vowel sound u can be described as close. Close itu berarti posisinya secara vertikal itu ke atas, terus back secara horizontal itu berarti ke belakang, sama rounded. Nggak mungkin kamu ngomong tapi your like lip shape-mu nggak membulat, nggak rounded, angel, susah. Coba tapi jangan bibirmu jangan rounded, unrounded, coba bisa nggak? Jadi aneh. Coba katakan ini ya pasti juga open mid, back, unrounded. Terus kalau ini itu open, front, rounded. Sama kayak di kata cat, ya itu. Terus ini seperti pada kata spread. Ini yang vokal yang kayak huruf kayak angka 3 terbalik, open, mid, front, unrounded. Oke, dan seterusnya itu. Lanjut 5.2 English vowels. In its simplest form, the general American vowel system consists of 13 vowel phoneme. Here we list them with their phonemic symbol, a keyword, and a selection of examples demonstrating a range of spelling used for them. The keywords written in small capitals will be used throughout this work and are based on those established by Wells 1982 and now widely used in English phonetics. The schwa vowel needs no keyword because the name schwa is so well established. But note that the word schwa doesn't actually contain the schwa vowel. Schwa vowel itu mengucapkannya itu schwa vowel. Let's try to pronounce some of these words. Chem, busy, pretty, build, book, book, put, wood, woman. Ada yang lucu? Hah? Bread, bread, say bread. Ya, itu roti yang di Indomaret, say bread. Pernah nyoba? Friend, leopard, bukan leopard ya, leopard. Cat, cat, above, above, bukan above ya. P, food, job. Jadi yang kayak huruf A Latin itu O bacanya. Job, father, heart, knowledge, knowledge, silent ke silent, knowledge langsung ke N-nya, gak ke knowledge bisa. Knowledge itu apaan itu? Knowledge, knowledge. Sekarang yang tadi kan yang monophthong. Monophthong itu yang mono, ada E, U, E, A, E, I, U, O. Itu namanya monophthong, single vokal, single vowel. Yang double vowel namanya diphthong. A, pay, mail, take, break, vain, pray. Ya. Terus I, pie, dry, die, pie, high, aisle. Terus oi, toy, foil, out, now, loud, oh, blow, hero, nose, hoax, soul. Itu ya. Banyak yang merasa salah dalam pengucapan selama ini. Okay, let's move to the next sub chapter. 5.3 strong and weak vowels. Vowels itu ada yang strong, ada yang weak. When describing English vowels, a distinction can be made between the vowels that typically occur in stressed syllable. Ya, di bab 1 atau 2 kita udah pernah belajar syllable yang stressed and unstressed. And those that typically occur in unstressed syllables. The former are said to belong to the strong vowel system and the latter to the weak vowel system. Kalau stress berarti strong vowel, kalau unstressed weak vowel system. There is a striking difference between the sets of vowels that are usually found in these two types of syllable. A distinction that is not found in most other languages. All vowels are found in stressed syllables, but in unstressed syllables, a much smaller set of vowel predominates. For example, schwa, including swat. This is not to say that the strong vowels cannot occur in unstressed syllable, but rather that they are unusual in this context. A number of works on English phonetics use different symbols for the same GA vowel phoneme depending on whether they appear in stressed syllables as strong vowels or in unstressed syllable as weak vowels. Some writers use the symbol A when the schwa phoneme is stressed and when it is unstressed. Oke. Kita coba lihat yang strong. Above. Itu kalau strong kayak gitu. Cuma kalau mau dimodify jadi weak, jadi above. Agak aneh sih. Terus burger. Kalau mau dibuat jadi weak, jadinya burger. Jadi lebih mengarah ke seperti itu. The strong or weak style of transcription is not phonemic, and we have not adopted it because learners and many native speakers find it confusing. For students of phonetics and English pronunciation, the concept of phoneme transcription usually poses little or no difficulty. Transcription system based on a strong or weak analysis of English vowels, however, require more than one symbol for a single phoneme. And this often appears arbitrary, aneh, and unnecessarily complicated to learners, especially when the differences between the strong or stressed and the weak or unstressed variants of the phoneme are not very noticeable. As in the case with fleece, goose, and schwa, the difference, however, between stressed and unstressed schwa is more obvious. Stressed schwa being more open than unstressed schwa. For example, the two vowels in custom. Sebenarnya ini kalau yang strong dia dibaca gini, yang pakai simbol samping, custom. Yang pakai schwa itu hanya yang tem, yang belakang tem, custom. Yep. Okay. Let's continue to 5.4. Check and free vowels. The strong vowels fall into two groups, which are check vowels and free vowels. Check, for example, cat, food, dress, trap. Free, contohnya fleece, goose, palm, face, price, choice, mouth, goat. Note that the shape of the lips is shown as follows on the vowel diagrams: a square for an unrounded vowel and a circle for a rounded vowel. If the lip shape changes from unrounded to rounded, we show this by means of a square that becomes a circle. And if the lips change from rounded to unrounded, we show it as circle that becomes a square. Itu diagramnya dari 5.11 sampai 5.14. Posisi di mana lidah kita bertempat atau memposisikan posisinya ketika mengucapkan misalkan i ya, atau atau u dan seterusnya. The check or free categorization is based on the types of syllable the strong vowels occur in. A closed syllable itu yang memiliki koda ya, yaitu memiliki satu atau lebih konsonan setelah vokalnya. Sedangkan open syllable itu yang tidak memiliki koda. Free vowels are free to occur in both closed and open. Sedangkan check vowel itu ya check in the sense that their distribution is terbatas, restricted, karena hanya dapat terjadi dalam closed syllable, or in the sense that the vowel is blocked by a following consonant. The following example demonstrate the free vowels in closed and open syllable. Contohnya, seed, team, cheer, meet. Kalau yang di open syllable ada see, tea, free, me ya. Karena check vowel tidak terjadi di open syllable, tidak terdapat English words, kata-kata berbahasa Inggris dengan tipe Oh ya, ni, chu, de, or fa. There are, however, words like comma, extra, panda, pizza, and zebra, di mana schwa appears in open syllables. The explanation for this is that the check or free distinction applies only to the strong vowel system. In unstressed syllable, the distribution of vowels in open or closed syllable is not the same as in stressed syllables, which demonstrates another way in which the weak and strong vowel system differ from each other. The following example demonstrate the checked vowels in closed syllables. Head, mess, hair. Bukan hair, tapi hair. Your hair. Hand. Keberuntungan itu bacanya apa? Luck. 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 Terus jempol. Thumb. Bukan thumb tapi thumb. Thumb. The check or free distinction has also been described as one of the length. The check vowels have been called the short vowels and the free vowels have been called the long vowels. There is some truth in this generalization because it's a fact that in the same phonetic context, the free vowels are consistently longer than the check vowels. However, there are many factors that affect vowel duration in English speech, meaning that the short check vowels can sometimes be lengthened and in particular, the long free vowels are often shortened. Furthermore, the trap vowel doesn't easily fit into the long or short categorization since it's often as long as the long free vowels, despite being a short check vowel. It's better, therefore, to categorize the strong vowels according to the fixed, unchanging fact of their distribution in different types of syllables and not in terms of their variable duration. There is a common misconception that fleece and kit, and goose and foot form long or short vowel pairs distinguished by length alone. As figure 5.15 demonstrates, this is not true. The pairs fleece or kit and goose or foot differ in vowel quality resulting from different tongue positions, and this is the most important feature that distinguishes them. Their length being variable. It's simply not true that, as some learners believe, shortened fleece and goose become kits and foot, or that lengthened kits and foot become fleece and goose. Oke, pembahasan kita sampai sini dulu. Apakah ada pertanyaan? Do you have any question until this discussion? If you don't have any question, I give you homework. Please do it at your boarding house or at your house or in your house. Okay, rewrite the vowel description on page 125, halaman 125, 5.1.3 vowel labels itu Anda tulis ulang dari I, close, front, unrounded sampai O ya. Open, back, rounded. Ya. 125 5.13 vowel label I, close, front, unrounded ditulis semua sampai O, open, back, rounded. Tuh. Itu yang pertama. Terus yang kedua 5.2 English vowels. Anda tulis ulang Cat, Jim, busy, pretty. Enggak. Anda tulis aja kata-katanya dari Jim, busy, pretty, build, zip, women sampai blow, hero, nose, hoax sampai soul. Anda tulis ulang kata-katanya, terus Anda beri fonetik, Anda tuliskan fonetik simbolnya. Fonetik simbol itu adalah simbol yang berada di dalam dua garis slash atau dalam dua kurung garis miring. Anda bisa lihat itu di kamus digital ataupun kamus yang tercetak yang versi English. Terus habis itu Anda latihan mengucapkan sembari mendengarkan pronunciation-nya. Bisa latihan dengan Google Translate ataupun dengan kamus digital untuk mendengarkan versi ucapannya. Gitu. Itu aja 2 hal itu. Is it clear enough? Oke, jika tidak ada pertanyaan kita cukupkan sekian ya. Thank you for your coming. Thank you for your attendance and I hope that this will be beneficial knowledge for you and for me. Amin. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.